Hey guys, thank you for stopping by the channel. Just your average Joe here. Hopefully everyone is enjoying their Memorial Day weekend. And I'm not going to take too much of your time up for this holiday weekend. I just wanted to come on here. It's been a while since I did one of these videos. Then again, it's been a while since I did most of my videos. My channel has been pretty slow with content lately. And again, I blame my schedule and I blame just a lot of things that were going on in the past month or so. But anyway, last video I did of this type of nature where I came on and not necessarily a PSA, but just to, be a little bit more informative than my other videos, which are just basically movie reviews and spoiler reviews and trailer reactions and things of that nature. But the last one I did was a few months ago and it got a lot of hits, seemed to do the trick. And that was just basically what I wanted to do, was put the information out there. And if you haven't had a chance to look at it, you can search my videos. And it was basically the one on the Instagram hack that's been going around where people are hacking your accounts, pretending to be crypto investors and basically scamming you out of money. So that's the last video I did of this nature. But this video, as the title suggests, is just a video of me explaining why I decided to delete Uber years ago. And I'm going to get into that and a few other things just after this. All right. Well, I'm back. Okay. So a few years ago, when I was working for a hotel in the city before I got my car, all right, I've been driving now. I've been driving for a very long time, but I went a brief period without having a car. So, anybody that works in hospitality or anything similar to that knows when you work the service industry, you're going to have, for the most part, messed up hours. So the last thing I wanted to do, especially after doing a double shift, was ride the train for an hour all the way back home to Brooklyn from the city. So on nights like that, where I either get out late of work or, like I said, after a double, I would get lazy, my own fault. No one was holding the gun to my head. And I would call an Uber or a Lyft, So, I was using Uber and Lyft fairly regular, actually. And I would alternate between the two, because I would see which one, was maybe a few dollars cheaper or whatever promotions they were also doing at that time as well. And for a while, both seemed to be doing this, but I had Uber longer. I had Uber, and then I think I got Lyft maybe like a year or two after. Pretty sure I downloaded Uber like in 2013 or 2014, something like that. But I started using it more and more, like 2015, 2016. All right. So that being said, Uber used to have a program. I'm sure they still do. I know Lyft does the same thing, where if you share your code with people that don't have Uber or Lyft, you get money towards a ride, or you get free rides, they would call it. And at one point, I think it was like $20 or $25. It was actually that high. And working in a hotel as a doorman, trying to hail cabs for certain guests, especially certain times, was damn near impossible. So they would have the option of Uber and Lyft. And if they didn't have an Uber or Lyft account, I would say, well, listen, why don't we do this? Download Uber or Lyft. I'll give you my code. It'll give me a free ride, and it'll actually give you money towards your first ride as well. And it's a win-win. So I was doing that. Why not? I take Ubers and Lyfts. Why not make something, especially if I can't do my job and get them taxis? And the situation with yellow taxis is a completely different story, but, whatever. That being said, there are a couple of reasons for this video. I feel Uber, especially between Uber and Lyft when comparing them, for the most part, there were times where Uber might have been a little cheaper than Lyft was at a given moment. But I have come personally to find out that Lyft has been fairly reasonable as far as price goes, depending on the situation. If it's raining, or if it's inclement weather, or if it's, peak rush hour times, both services are going to, hike up the prices. We know that. We know they do their surges. I feel like Uber does surges for anything now, to be honest with you. But what really, really got me under my skin was the fact, and again, I also want, first of all, I have no paid sponsorship with Lyft. I very rarely use Lyft since I drive. I'll use Lyft if I'm going somewhere local and I don't feel like driving, or maybe the parking's not ideal in that area and I just don't want to have to deal with parking, especially coming back to my house. Because generally parking is very bad by me, especially, later on at night. So I'll just take a Lyft, what is it? 10, 15 bucks, whatever it is. So, but other than that, I don't really use car services because I drive. But as I stated, when you give your code out, I was getting $20, and I think at one point it was $10. So, okay, that's cool. So one day I gave my code, so I had a so I accidentally hit that, guys. I'm sorry. One day I had a $20 credit, right? So I was like, you know what? I'll just take an Uber home. It was late. I was with my girlfriend at the time, so we were just waiting outside my hotel, and I was checking the prices. So I get a ride. Before I click to confirm, I see I see the prices, and I see the $20 credit. So what they did was, it was either 20 or 10. I'm pretty sure it was 20, but it could have been a $10 credit at that time. It might have been $10 was when I basically got rid of it. So let's just pretend it is 10. It might not have been a $20 credit at the time. Because like I said, at one point they did have 20, but then they reduced it because a lot of people were doing that when they were giving away their codes. So I had a $10 credit. So I was like, all right, I'll use Uber. I told my girlfriend, I'll do it. Let me do it because I got a $10 credit. It'll be $10 cheaper. So what I saw was it said $61 regular minus 10, 51 to go home from where I lived. And that was around about what I would generally pay when they weren't surging. But by a hunch, just from a hunch, I told my girlfriend, I said, listen, do me a favor. You try to call an Uber. I want to see something. So now remember, 61 minus my $10 credit, 51. She called an Uber. Remember, we're standing right next to each other. We're in the same location, going to the same place, same address. She was quoted at 51. So basically, what Uber did, and what I'm assuming they didn't just do it to me. When you thought you were using your credit, they were actually hiking the price up by the 10 or whatever 20. I don't know what they were doing it as far back as when they were doing the $20 promotions, but they hiked the price up by $10 just so it looked like I was getting a $10 credit. Meanwhile, somebody who didn't have the $10 promotion was getting the same price as my credited price. So look, it was a combination of that. There's customer service when I had issues with drivers, which was a regular basis, I will say. And now for the most part, you're going to say, well, Joe, most Uber drivers are Lyft drivers too. And that is true. But I have noticed that on the Uber side, I've had many more issues with drivers, with trips home. They would take the long way. And obviously I know where I'm going and I know how to get there. So I know if you're taking a back way, I know if you're trying to milk the ride, or if you're trying to this and you're trying to do that. You're going to take a toll road when I know without tolls is actually quicker in some nights. So there were a lot of other factors, but when it got to that point, I said, you know what? I'm done. Now, does Lyft do that? I have no idea. I didn't test that experiment out with Lyft, but I will say from the customer service standpoint, like getting in touch with customer service or dealing with an issue, dealing with anything I've ever had to deal with as far as Lyft, which was on a rare occasion anyway, I just felt like it wasn't as hard to get to them, and I got responses right away. And for the most part, they've dealt with most of my issues. And again, I'm not saying I know both of them aren't perfect. I've had my issues with Lyft as well, but when it boils down to the service itself and how bad I felt it was, and then you're going to abuse that, and you're going to take advantage of your customers who are, by the way, obviously every time I give my code away, you're getting a new customer from me. I mean, that's why you're giving me the promotion. So for you to turn around and say, hey, Joe, thanks for getting me other riders. Here is your promotion. And you know damn well it's fake. On top of which, here's another reason why the issues were mounting. I saw somebody right in front of me put my code in their phone and then take a trip. So they not only used my code, but they used it on their trip to go where they were going. And then they came back and they also thanked me again for the code and whatever discount they got on their ride. I never got promotion. I never got a promotion from that ride. And I waited and I waited and I contacted them and I said, hey, listen, I had given my code to a customer and I never got promotion for it. Is what, what happened? Oh, well, they must have never used the code. And I told them, I said, no, no, no. They flat out used it in front of me. I watched them get in the car and I watched them go to the destination that they were going. So what are you talking about? So that was another thing. I, at one point, was giving, and they would never said that there was a maximum. They never said that, there was a cutoff and whatever, because it's not like I gave away like 10 codes in one day or something like that. It was very rare because at that point, most people had Uber anyway. So it wasn't like I was giving away all these codes or whatever, but I still knew enough. I was able to keep track because it was so little, but it was on an often basis that where I was just like, wait a minute, how come I didn't get one for so-and-so? And they basically lied to my face and said, no, 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 they never used it. We have to wait for them to use it. So again, that was one of the other issues I had. So yeah, it's been several years. I deleted the app. I even asked them to delete my account. I went as far as doing that because I was just done with them. And the other reason why I did that was because I also at the time had Uber Eats, which is a completely different animal and another stream for another day. I was actually thinking about this before I came on here. I had walked to Dunkin'. America runs on Dunkin', huh? So I had walked to Dunkin' and I knew I was going to record this stream. And I said, you know what? Should I tie in Uber Eats and maybe some of the delivery, the app services that we use for deliveries? And I said, you know what? No, no, no. I will do a separate stream on why I refuse. It's a rare occasion. There are occasions where I get lazy and I'll do Grubhub or Seamless. I don't have the apps, but I'll do like it on the web browser and stuff like that. But I'm probably going to do a future streams at some point soon on why I think you guys should stop using the delivery app services. Uber Eats, DoorDash, Postmates, Grubhub, Seamless, all of them. And I'll go over my personal reasons why. I'm not saying, I'm like, guys, I'm not telling you to listen to what I do. No one's saying that you need to delete your Uber app now. No one's saying don't ever order from Grubhub or whatever. I mean, I just think personally you shouldn't. And yeah, and that's it. I do want to say, guys, if you're a regular on my channel, you're not usually used to these streams. I do have other streams coming up soon that I normally do. I'm going to be doing Obi-Wan reaction to the first few episodes. By the time I get that out, the third episode will have dropped. So I'm probably going to do a reaction to all three, maybe this upcoming Thursday. I do want to go over Stranger Things season 4, part 1. I want to go over those 7 episodes. So, and I also at one point want to go see Top Gun 2. With my job, I didn't really get tickets yet because I didn't know what I had going on this weekend. But I will try at one point, either this week or maybe sometime next weekend if I have the time, to go and see Top Gun 2 and then talk about it with you guys. But for those of you that aren't subscribed to the channel, please go ahead and do so. Obviously, give this stream a thumbs up. And be on the lookout for other content like this. As I said, I do want to do eventually a stream based on the delivery app services and why I think you shouldn't do that. And yeah, that's it. So like I said, guys, enjoy the rest of your Memorial weekend. Enjoy the holiday. Enjoy the extended weekend. And I will see all of you really soon.